passcode and Touch ID, and you need to disable everything related to Touch ID and then turn off passcode lock. So just turn it off completely. As you can see, mine's already off because it only gives me the option to enable it. From there, you're going to go to Settings General and then Auto Lock. So it's down a little bit, Auto Lock, and you need to set it to Never. If your device happens to lock during the jailbreak process, it could cause complications. So just disable that, and then finally go back to the main settings screen, scroll down to iCloud, and then navigate to the bottom. So Settings, iCloud, and then turn off Find My Device. Mine says Find My iPod. If you have an iPhone, it'll be Find My iPhone, or iPad, Find My iPad. So just disable it by toggling it off and entering your passcode. I'm gonna do that now. All right, so here we go. Find My iPod Touch is disabling on my 5th gen iPod. And once it does, I'm going to show you guys that it is indeed running iOS 8.4 by going inside of Settings, General, About, and down below at the bottom, as you can see for the version, it does confirm that this iPod Touch is running iOS 8.4. What's more, I also have the new icon for the music app, and it will prompt me to sign up for my Apple Music free trial once I load it. So as you can see, the graphics are loading now, and it should ask me to start my 3-month free trial for Apple Music. So you know this iPod Touch is running iOS 8.4. Now you're only going to need 2 things downloaded for this tutorial, TaiG as well as iTunes. And if you happen to encounter any sort of complication with the latest version of iTunes, whether it's 12.1.2 or you're watching this video at a later point and you're on 12.2, you may have to downgrade, though TaiG should function with 12.1.x. But again, if you have to downgrade, then I will have a link on the screen now to my untethered iOS 8.3 jailbreak tutorial, the specific segment that I go into depth on the topic of downgrading iTunes. So if you need to downgrade, click that annotation on the desktop version of YouTube and you'll be immediately redirected to that segment of the video. And once you download TaiG, you will just receive it inside of a zip format. If you have anything that handles zipped or compressed files, you can just export it to your desktop via that, but because I don't, all I have to do is just drag TaiG to my desktop on Windows 8.1 here, and because I already have it, I'm just going to replace it and then close out of this window, and we can continue by plugging our device into our computer just via a USB cable, and iTunes should automatically pop up. If it doesn't, launch it manually. And as you can see here, it's asking me to trust the connection on my iPod Touch, so I'm just going to tap on trust, and on the computer it's asking me to click continue. It's very important that you authenticate this connection, but if you've connected to your computer since you last restored, chances are good it won't ask you to. Either way though, launch iTunes and ensure that iTunes recognizes your device. As you can see, it comes up with my iPod Touch there. That's because iTunes has successfully verified that connection. So now you can just minimize iTunes and then launch TaiG by right-clicking it and then clicking Run as Administrator. From here, you will receive this prompt and you just want to click on Yes to run it. And then TaiG should pop up, and once it does, we will continue. As you can see, it says iOS 8.4, we can do more, checking TaiG version. So it's just checking everything, and it's just determining what firmware we're on. So as you can see, it says iPod Touch 5, iOS 8.4. Let's go ahead and bring TaiG over here, and we're going to uncheck the box at the bottom. That's just 3K Assistant. It's a third-party Chinese software distribution platform. We're not interested in that whatsoever. We just want Cydia, so uncheck that. I'm going to zoom in here, readjust the view, and we'll get started. Okay, so now that I'm back, to speed the process along, we can go ahead and